Hello, Tar Heel Nation. Welcome back to the UNC Hoops Talk podcast after taking a week off. Kind of a much-needed week, but I am back. This is your host, Dan DeWitt. And I took a week off. It turned out to be a good week. Slammed busy, plus was all nasally and congested, so you wouldn't have wanted to listen anyway. But I am glad that you're back listening now. I appreciate it. And we're going to jump in. We're going to, I don't know, probably be a short one. We've had 3 games, kind of run-of-the-mill games, kind of what I expected. Unfortunately, in the case of the Miami game, but the other one's kind of maybe not the score-wise, but outcome-wise, as expected, pretty much in all 3 of them. But I'll explain that as we jump in. So first couple weeks ago now already it's been, we played Boston College, ended up with a 90-82 win. Probably not the margin that we all expected. We were only up by 1 at halftime, 34-33. And we pull it off, led by Justin Jackson, 22 points, Kennedy Meeks, 20 points, 9 rebounds. Isaiah Hicks continued to play better since Theo had been back, 14 points. Joel Berry, just 9 points, no assists, just a couple of free throw attempts. From there, Theo, 11 points and 5 rebounds off the bench, 3 assists from him. And Tony Bradley, 5 and 6, 5.6 rebounds in 11 minutes. Not going to get into it a whole lot. That game's been long enough. Then last week we played Virginia Tech, and we were just kind of rolling in this one. As much as kind of Boston College hung around, we kind of, lackadaisical in that game. We were not in the Virginia Tech game. We jumped all over them from the beginning and handled business like we should and like we expect our Tar Heels to do at this in the season. Justin Jackson continued to be hot, 26 points, 10 for 20, added in 4 assists. And as much as we didn't have the assists in the Boston College game, like I said, it was all rolling against Virginia Tech. Had 25 team assists in this one. Kennedy Meeks, 15 points, 14 rebounds, half of them offensive rebounds. Joel Berry, 15 points, 4 assists in this one, so kind of at least improved that one. He also had 5 threes, 5 for 10 from the three-point line. And then we had Isaiah, 6, Nate and Theo off the bench with 5, Tony Bradley off the bench with 7 points, 6 rebounds. Like I said, we just kind of rolled in this one. 14 threes as a team, and they sat in the zone at the beginning. I don't remember if they came out of that eventually or not, but we probably shot too many threes, but they were going in, so you kind of accept that. And then offensive rebounds, we had 19 rebounds. They had 22 rebounds overall, so we almost had as many offensive rebounds as they did rebounds total. Some of that is Kennedy playing, as Roy likes to call it, patty cake on the backboard, just tapping it to himself for rebounds, and that obviously helps offensive rebounds as well. Which is kind of annoying to see. Hate to see it out of Kennedy Meeks. I know I've been hard on him in the past, and I'd rather him just go up strong, finish the first time, get fouled, whatever it takes. But we know he doesn't have lifts, so he's got to do what he's got to do, I guess. Looks good in the stats. We know they've, the national guys have talked endlessly about our offensive rebounding ability, which I think is really good. I mean, obviously we're a really good offensive rebounding team, but I don't think it's as good as what the numbers show, just because of the ways we're getting them. 91-72 win against Virginia Tech at home. Again, kind of expected. And then, as much as I didn't want to expect it, we come out and just lay an egg against Miami. And full exposure here, I did not watch this game. I had it DVR'd. We were out. We were doing stuff on a Saturday. That early tip was killing me, and ended up actually where we were eating had the game on. I didn't want to see it, but I saw the beginning. We came out fairly hot. Or at least we got, I think, a 6-0 lead before they scored, something like that. We were up close to double digits, looked like we were going to roll, and then they made a run, and it was close. I think they had taken the lead last I had seen, but it was close, and and so I waited like a half hour. I was like, okay, I got to make sure that we stop their run, that, it's still at least a close game. And by the time I had looked, we were down by 17, I think. It was almost halftime, and it was like 39-22 or something like that. And I mean, obviously, didn't ruin my afternoon, but I kept thinking about it. And since I had seen so far into the game, score-wise, I looked, and we had lost. We never really – it sounded like we played a little bit better offensively at a stretch in the second half, but never really got it going, never really were in the game. And so I just deleted the DVR. I didn't even watch it. It didn't sound like anything I wanted to see. So, yeah, we'll just jump into the stats here a little bit. Joel Berry, 0 for 8 shooting, 0 for 4 from the three-point line, just 2 points. Did have 4 assists, but, yeah, nothing out of him. Justin Jackson remained hot, shot 7 for 16 overall, 4 for 10 from the three-point line, 21 points, but had 4 turnovers with no assists. Meeks, 5 points, 6 rebounds, and we're just talking about how effective he had been. Definitely not in this game. Isaiah Hicks, same thing, 7 points, 6 rebounds. Nate Britt off the bench looked like he played at least fairly well before following out. 10 points, 2 for 3 from the three-point line, 3 for 4 overall, 3 assists. Tony Bradley, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Half of those offensive. Brandon Robinson hit a 3, was had 5 points, but I mean, obviously we only scored 62 points, so not as many guys are going to score in that sense. Looks like we let one of them go off on us. 30 points for Bruce Brown. Shot 8 for 11, 4 for 6 from the three-point line. Got to the free throw line 13 times, hit 10 of those. Yeah, I mean, again, we just talked about rebounds. We only had 36 rebounds to their 41, and I think this is the second time we'd been out-rebounded all season, the other one being Indiana, I believe, and 12 offensive rebounds to their 11, so that was neutralized. Again, I don't know if they sat in a zone, what they did to kind of neutralize this, but obviously other teams will probably pay attention. I think one of the stats I saw was that we had been averaging like 25 assists a game, which is like third in the NCAA. Basketball this year so far, we had 12 in this game, so didn't get the ball moving. We did have a lot of guys play a lot of minutes. Let's see here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys with 10 plus minutes. Obviously it's our starters, and Bradley and Britt, Brandon Robinson, Seventh Woods, and Luke May, all 10 plus minutes along with our starters. And again, another stat I saw, we have 11 guys, I think it's 9 guys averaging 11 minutes or more, which is kind of crazy, especially this deep now into, we're at least about halfway through the ACC schedule. We're, coming into that home stretch, and I think I'd even talked about it in the past. I thought we kind of had our rotation narrowed down. I don't know if it was foul trouble. Again, I didn't see this game. I know obviously Nate Britt fouled out. Tony Bradley had 4 here. None of our starters have more than 3. So I don't know that it's foul trouble or what, but for whatever reason, Roy played more guys in this game. I go back even just one game, Virginia Tech, which I wouldn't say is a blowout, but a comfortable win. We have, 7 guys with double figures, I think. Maybe, let's see, maybe it's 8, and then another guy with 9. So it's close, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what went wrong. I can't break this one down as well. My breakdown of it is we let somebody go off on us. He was shooting well. He was obviously getting to the bucket, and we were following him a lot to get to the free throw line that much. And we do not like weekend early tips. The noon, 1 o'clock tip, Eastern time. It goes back to our last loss, which was Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech game at Georgia Tech. Again, yes, they're both on the road. It's hard to win on the road in the ACC. But you go through our ACC games so far this year. It started off at Georgia Tech. It was a noon Eastern tip. We laid a goose egg. Clemson was on the road, night game though, won in overtime. So yeah, close game, whatever. Wake Forest was at their place, night tip, won by 6. Boston College, noon tip, won by only 8. Again, I wouldn't say that's what we should only win by at Boston College. And then obviously Miami, 1 p.m. Eastern tip, laid the egg. The only anomaly in there, I would say, is NC State. We played them at home, so obviously that's different, but it was a 1 p.m. Eastern tip. We know what happened there. We blew them out by 51. But then the difference was they're supposed to be played Saturday night, got snowed out into Sunday. It's a little bit different case. So looking forward into our schedule, before we get into the games coming up this week, though, just the only other noon tip we have right now is Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh towards the end of February. Says noon Eastern tip there. And then Virginia is at home on a Saturday. It says the time has not been determined, but I'm guessing because we're both toward the top of the ACC, that's going to be, like a primetime game at night or something like that. So shouldn't have to worry about too many of those. Hopefully we can take care of Pitt then, but getting ahead of ourselves there. Again, I don't know what else to say about this Miami game as opposed to it's just not good. The only other thing we have to mention, and if you have looked at the title of this podcast already, Theo Pinson going down and getting hurt. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. No, it was definitely in the Virginia Tech game because they only played 6 minutes here. So I guess that would have been the other guy that would have got some minutes in that game, but goes down. They said during the game, like nobody noticed it. Even TV didn't show replays right away, but then they noticed that he went back to the locker room and then he was not playing and whatever. They said twisted an ankle. They showed a replay of one play where he kind of went down and grimaced, but there wasn't any twist of an ankle. But even Roy in the post game said he twisted his ankle. So it's obviously an ankle injury. We just don't know what really happened or how he did it. It doesn't seem like it was really a twisting of an ankle, but I think somebody called it like an ankle jam or something, sprain, whatever it is. He did not come back to the Virginia Tech game, did not play against Miami, which maybe is some of our problem as well with the energy-wise. And it's already been announced that he will not play tomorrow against Pitt, which hopefully it shouldn't matter. But we'll see. And, we'll see how long he's out. Obviously, we know he missed a lot of the early games, all the non-conference, I believe. Came back still looking good. We'll see, how long it takes him to get back. Hopefully they're just being cautious because it's Pittsburgh, because it's at home. We should be able to beat them. We don't need Theo, all that good stuff. And he'll be back for Notre Dame, Duke, and good to go. Hopefully he'll be 100% then, because looking at our schedule coming up here, and we'll jump into the games coming up this week, but we have Pittsburgh tomorrow, which is Tuesday, January 31st. That is a 7 p.m. Eastern tip on ESPN2. And then we have from Tuesday all the way to Saturday, we play Notre Dame. That's a 6 p.m. Eastern tip on ESPN, which is a big game because they're towards the top of the ACC as well. But then we go from Saturday to Thursday again, and we play our first Duke game, and it's in Durham. We'll obviously podcast again before then, so we're not going to talk a lot about that. But big breaks in there. So, hopefully after even this Pittsburgh game, he's got enough time, he's back for Notre Dame game. But even if he's not back for Notre Dame, we got a fairly big stretch again so that, he should be back hopefully for Duke. And if he's not back by Duke, then we know something's wrong. And, we may be looking at redshirting or, whatever. I don't know. I guess it's going to be up, something that they talk or he talks with his parents and with Roy. Obviously we feel like we're in the chase for or contention for national championship or Final Four, whatever you want to say. And, if he can help us and wants to be a part of that, maybe it's worth burning the season to him as opposed to coming back when maybe we aren't as loaded and don't have that chance for him to help us go farther in the tournament. So hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully we're just, all really pessimistic and kind of expect the worst and hope for the best or whatever that saying is. But we definitely hope nothing is seriously wrong with Theo, that he'll be back quickly and they're just being cautious. That Pittsburgh game, I mean, Pittsburgh is 1-7, and I guess we can look at the standings before we even get into it. But North Carolina, Virginia, both tied with 2 losses in the conference now at the top. We've played an extra game, so we have that advantage. I guess we're the top of the conference at 7-2. Virginia 6-2, and then there are 3 teams at 6-3: Florida State, Louisville, and Notre Dame. Which, yeah, we have that game coming up with Notre Dame right there. Has plenty of meaning with them towards the top. A game back from us right now. Then we got 3 more teams at 5-4. Kind of a surprising stretch right here: Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, and Syracuse there at 5-4. And then Duke and Miami are both 4-4. NC State, Wake Forest 3-6, Clemson 2-6, Boston College 2-7, and then Pittsburgh at 1-7. So those bottom 4, I think you'd expect: Wake Forest, Clemson, Boston College, Pitt. I think a lot of people thought Clemson would be better, but not necessarily surprised. A lot of people thought NC State would be a lot better than 3-6 at this point. Obviously, people thought Duke would be better than 4-4. Georgia Tech definitely not picked to be this high at this point in the ACC. And then I think the rest of them we kind of expected. We know how tough the ACC is this year and all that stuff. But our game's coming up. Like I said, Tuesday, tomorrow, as I'm recording this on Monday, Pittsburgh at home, 7 p.m. Eastern tip on ESPN2. Shouldn't be any problem. I mean, especially winning. If we don't blow them out, whatever, we got to get our stuff right, or, we're looking past them or whatever. But, man, if we lose this game, that's going to hurt our chances at winning the ACC. These are the games, obviously at home. Pittsburgh I would expect to win even on the road, but at home we have to take care of business here. And then, like I said, we get fairly good layoff here before we play Notre Dame Saturday. It's a 6 p.m. Eastern tip on ESPN, day before Super Bowl, so we don't have to worry about that Super Bowl stuff. Get it over. Night game should be a pretty entertaining one. Notre Dame's playing well. We're at home, so I think we have to have the advantage there. We will be favored in this game. But it should be a good one. And then, like I said, we'll podcast before that Duke game comes up next Thursday. But we're right into the meat, and we're coming into our toughest stretch in the ACC schedule towards the end here. Like I said, we got Notre Dame, Duke, then a rival game at State, Virginia. It's going to be us and Virginia for sure, trying to battle for the regular season ACC title. It looks like at this point. Then we got Louisville at home. We go to Pitt for that noon tip, like I talked about. Play Virginia again, and then we end with Duke. So, it's going to be a tough stretch. We knew that when we saw the schedule. I talked about it when we did predictions. We could, we got 2 losses right now. We could easily drop 2 or 3 of these, but I think we'd still be in the race for regular season champs in the ACC. But we gotta get Theo back healthy. We gotta kind of get our mojo, and we can't be dropping eggs like we did against Miami. I know it was on the road. I know I said it going in. As much as I tried to talk myself out of that we'd lose that game. We always struggle at Miami. They're athletic. It's that early tip. We didn't have Theo. 7-game win streak. But like the Georgia Tech game, that kind of woke us up. Hopefully this one wakes us up for this tough stretch here as we go down the stretch in the ACC. And hopefully we don't need another one of these to wake us up. Hopefully we're good to go now into the ACC tournament, NCAA tournament. As we do have a good shot. I think it's wide open. Obviously, if you watch college basketball this week, you saw how many teams lost. Was it Villanova lost, Kansas lost, Kentucky lost, Florida State lost. So at least half of the top 10 this week in the polls lost. And so it's wide open to Final Four contention, for national championship contention. We just got to make sure we're staying in that mix and we're playing well. We know we can win when we knock down 14 threes. It's can we win when we hit against Miami. 7 of them out of 24. We shot 7 for 24 from 3, which is 29%. And just in case you wanted to have it rubbed in a little bit more, but can we win when we hit 5, 6, 7 threes in a game? That's what we got to be able to do. And when we don't rebound it as efficiently as we're used to doing at this point in the season. That's what we got to learn to do and find out if we can do. But yeah, pretty big 2 weeks. We'll say that big 2 weeks coming up here for North Carolina basketball. Let's get past this Pittsburgh game tomorrow, get that W in the books, and move on to some of the big time games. But that's all I got. I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to encourage you to share this with other Tar Heel fans, friends that you have, that you know that maybe don't listen. Just shoot them a link. It'll be out there on Twitter. I send it out there, or anywhere. YouTube, get the link. Show them. Show them how to subscribe, leave a review, all that good stuff you guys do to support. And any links that you need will be down in the description. If they're not, get a hold of me, because those descriptions are down there. Those links are down there as well. Get a hold of me. I will give you any link that you want that you can share out, so we can unite Tar Heel Nation. That's all I want to do. Unite us and be able to talk Carolina basketball anytime we want, because I can definitely do that with anybody at any time. But like I said, that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you didn't miss it too much. But we are back in a weekly here, and hopefully I don't take any more weeks off. I don't think we should need to. It's getting exciting, and it's coming down the stretch here. Gotta love it. So until I speak with you guys again, until next week, go Heels.